Before you buy any new iPad, watch this first, because the next iPad mini, let's just call it the iPad mini 8, could be the most dangerous little device Apple has ever made, not because of its power, but because for a lot of people, it might quietly replace your tablet, your Kindle, and even your laptop in more situations than you expect. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what to realistically expect from the next iPad mini based on Apple's patterns and current leaks, what it could finally fix, and one hidden downside almost nobody is talking about that might make you regret buying it. And if you stick with me until the end, that last part will decide whether the iPad mini 8 is worth waiting for or whether you should skip it entirely. But the real make or break feature of the iPad mini 8 is almost certainly the display. Because if you've ever heard people complain about the current mini, you know the two big issues. It's only 60 Hz, and some users notice that jelly scrolling effect when you move text quickly. Are we finally getting a 120 Hz promotion display on the iPad mini 8? That's the dream, and it would make scrolling feel like butter, make the Apple Pencil feel way more natural, and instantly make the Mini feel Pro without changing the size. But Apple loves to separate the Pro devices from the regular ones, so the more realistic expectation is a much better 60 Hz panel with improved uniformity, higher brightness, and less of that jelly effect. Not as flashy as 120 Hz, but a big quality of life upgrade if you read, draw, or game a lot, and if Apple quietly fixes the jelly problem without making a big deal of it. That alone will make this mini feel like a huge step up from the current one. Now let's talk about performance, because this is where the iPad mini 8 could go from nice to have to tiny monster. The current mini runs in A15 chip, which is already fast, but Apple has moved much of its lineup to chips like the M series and A17 level performance. So it's very likely the next mini will get a serious bump. Think an A17 class chip, or even an M series chip scale for this size. What does that actually mean for you? It's not about opening Instagram half a second faster. It's about what you can get away with on a device this small. Console-level games, real video editing, running big creative apps, multitasking with multiple windows, maybe even driving an external display more comfortably. If you're a student, that means you can take notes, research, and edit a video project on the same tiny tablet. And if you're a creative person, it becomes a real sketchbook, not just a casual toy. And that brings us to something most people ignore: battery life, because power without endurance is pointless. Every time Apple moves to a more efficient chip, you either get better battery life or the same battery life with more performance. And on a small device like the Mini, efficiency is everything. You don't have a big tablet-sized battery to lean on. So if the iPad mini 8 gets a modern, more efficient chip and maybe a slightly denser battery, you're looking at a device you can throw in your bag in the morning and actually trust will survive a full day of mixed use. Now, let's get into the feature that could quietly turn the iPad mini 8 into the best note-taking device Apple sells: Apple Pencil support. The current Mini supports Apple Pencil 2, and if the next one supports the latest Pencil with hover features, better latency, or even Pencil Pro features, this becomes deadly for anyone who takes handwritten notes, sketches, or marks up PDFs. Imagine a device light enough to hold like a notepad, but powerful enough to sync everything across your entire Apple ecosystem instantly. You walk into class or a meeting with just this tiny tablet and a stylus. You take notes, sketch diagrams, record audio, and everything is searchable later. And that's the kind of experience that quietly hooks people. Not the spec sheet, but the feeling of this does exactly what I need wherever I am. Cameras on tablets are usually an afterthought, but there's one place the iPad mini 8's cameras actually matter: video calls. If Apple gives it a better front-facing camera with center stage and improved low-light performance, this little tablet suddenly becomes the perfect FaceTime and Zoom device. Prop it up, join calls, and you're good. And while rear camera improvements are nice, they're really just a bonus for scanning documents or grabbing quick shots. So far, the iPad mini 8 sounds pretty close to perfect: small, powerful, better screen, better pencil support, solid battery. But here's the part you really need to hear before you get too excited. The biggest weakness of the iPad mini 8 has nothing to do with hardware. It's the experience of trying to do big iPad or laptop tasks on a small screen. Yes, it will probably support external keyboards and maybe a nice third-party case. And yes, you can run split-screen apps and respond to emails. But the size that makes it so magical to hold is the same size that makes serious productivity a little cramped. If you imagine yourself writing essays all day, managing complex spreadsheets, or doing full-time work on a tablet, the Mini will almost always feel like a compromise compared to an iPad Air, iPad Pro, or a MacBook, and that's the trap a lot of people fall into. They see the Mini and think, I'll get this instead of a laptop. For most people, that's a mistake. The iPad Mini 8, if Apple does what we expect, is going to be the perfect second device. The device you reach for on the couch, on the plane, in bed, at a cafe, the one that's always with you because it's never annoying to carry. So who is this actually for? If you love reading, books, articles, PDFs, the Mini form factor is almost unbeatable. It's lighter than most hardcovers, more flexible than a Kindle, and with an upgraded display, it becomes a beautiful reading device that just happens to also run your entire app library. If you're a student, this is the everywhere device. Notes, quick research, watching lectures, highlighting PDFs on the bus, replying to emails between classes. You might still want a bigger screen at home for deep work, but the Mini will cover so much of your day, it'll feel like your main device. If you travel a lot, this is almost a no-brainer. Plane, train, car, Airbnb, hotel, a powerful, compact screen that downloads movies, plays games, handles work emergencies, and slips into the smallest backpack pocket. And if you're a gamer, the combination of a more powerful chip and a compact screen could make the iPad Mini 8 one of the best portable gaming devices Apple has ever made. Now let's talk about the part nobody likes to think about, but everyone cares about: price. The current Mini isn't cheap. Apple positions it as a premium small device, not a budget tablet, so don't expect the iPad Mini 8 to suddenly become affordable. More realistically, Apple either keeps in the same ballpark as the current Mini or nudges the price up slightly if they pack in better display tech or a stronger chip. The smart way to think about it is this: you're not paying for size, you're paying for convenience, and the question you need to ask is, how often will I actually use this thing? If the answer is every single day, in every room, everywhere I go, then a higher price is easier to justify. But if you already have a big iPad and a big phone and you're thinking of the Mini as a fun extra, you might want to pause. So, should you wait for the iPad Mini 8 or just buy something that's already out? If you need a tablet right now for serious work, video editing, heavy multitasking, replacing a laptop, you're better off with an iPad Air or iPad Pro, because the Mini, even in its next form, is more about flexibility and comfort than raw productivity. But if you've been holding off because the current Mini screen issues bother you, or you want more future-proof performance in a small size, it might be worth waiting a little because Apple tends to update the Mini less often than other iPads. And that means when they do, you're usually getting a device that will stay relevant for years. Here's the bottom line: if Apple does what it usually does, better chip, better display, refined design, stronger pencil support, the iPad Mini 8 won't just be a nice upgrade. It'll be the ultimate, always with you device in the Apple ecosystem, the tablet that's not trying to replace everything, but ends up being the one thing you reach for the most. So before you spend your money on a bigger iPad or another laptop, ask yourself this: do you really need a giant screen all the time, or do you need a powerful screen that you can actually take everywhere? Because if the iPad Mini 8 delivers on even half of what we've just talked about, that tiny rectangle in your hand might quietly become the most important device you own.